It's up to you what you can do. You're left with all your choices. You're in the clear, another beer would quiet all the voices. But it's your life.
Hey everybody, Zero Inflation here. I am recording this video because I found it to be particularly interesting. This is a video called "The True Cost of an iPhone," and this gentleman, I forget his name, Ali Vishy. He's talking about the cost components of what it takes to make an iPhone and how much it actually costs as compared to what they sell it for. He eventually comes to the conclusion here that an iPhone costs around $200 to make, but you'll see here it pops up, yeah, $203 to make, as opposed to $600 buying it in the store. Now that is interesting enough, but it is not why I wanted to do this video, because you are not going to hear the information that I'm about to tell you if you watch this video. This is the big deal. Okay, he's talking right now about the assembly cost of China and the United States. And he looks down and he says, in China it takes about $7.10 to assemble an iPhone. And in the United States it takes $165.67. Now, he's trying to show you that it costs a lot more to make an iPhone in America than it does in China. But he goes on to say that it takes approximately 8 hours of labor to create this phone. And so if you do the math in your head, which is not hard, it comes down to less than $1 an hour in wages in China for them to make an iPhone. So we are talking that... and this, who knows how inflated these numbers are, but if we just go with that, that shows you that in China, they're building iPhones and paying employees less than $1 an hour to do the wages. Like, so they're building, like, you know, they're making, gosh, what's the best way to put this? So, you know, if they're working a 12-hour day, they make $12. I mean, that is not enough money to live off of at all. Any of us would agree to that. I mean, that's slave labor. And they go on in this video to talk about how, oh, well, this is a shame. We wish they could bring some jobs to America, but this is just how it's going to be. But they completely miss what I think is a vital point, is the fact that we are buying these goods at these slave labor costs, and Apple is on the record as having to put up nets around their buildings in China in order to keep people from killing themselves, because people are so frustrated with the situation there, and are literally being worked to death. They would rather kill themselves than work in these places for Apple. And it's been shown that if we in America paid like $5, $10, $20 more for an iPhone, we could dramatically improve the lives of the people that are making these gadgets. And I'm using one right now. I mean, I'm all for technology and producing it. There's nothing wrong with it. But folks, we have to understand that every time that we purchase goods from China or goods overseas where they are being made with slave labor, we are perpetuating this. We're making it worse. We in America are so well off, and we demand all these super low prices, but we don't understand the ramifications of it, and it's sickening. Is an iPhone worth the life of another person? I mean, people are killing themselves. When I lived in Hong Kong, China, on Sundays, I would see the factory workers come out, and they would sit all along the walkways in Hong Kong, and they would just sit on cardboard boxes and play cards. That was their one day where they could actually leave the factories, and they would come out and sit and play cards, and that was it. I mean, they just sat on cardboard boxes as their children slept on the side. And I mean, folks, can you imagine that? Can you imagine it? We are perpetuating this. We have to rise up and say, look, I am going to do everything I can to buy goods that people are paid a decent wage to make. I mean, that's the thing. Forget about, we say buy American, but we in America get paid a decent wage to make those goods. When we buy these slave goods, we are saying, I love this system. And folks, if that's you, you got to understand that this is going to come full circle. This is not something that's just going to, happen. We're not going to be able to live like this forever. We have to understand the ramifications of this. So please, spread the word, spread this video, spread the message that slave goods are not worth the cost. They're not worth the cost. We have to do everything we can to make sure the things that we buy are not slave wage goods. Otherwise, we are all inevitably going to have our standard of living degraded. We're all going to be brought down to the third world level. This is not going to prop Americans up. This is going to bring us down. So please spread the message, see through the anti-media, see through the deception, and do everything you can to wake up and to spread the message of liberty.